Hi, I'm Todd Saxton with the IU Kelley School of Business. I'm pleased to share some of the work my colleagues, Curtis Wesley and Kim Saxton and I have been doing. We do a lot of work in the venture community, and we've noticed over time that some venture community members provide a lot of help and support to entrepreneurs with no apparent payback. And on the other side, some entrepreneurs are much better than others at getting input, following advice, and getting support from others in the venture community, including ourselves. These observations have led to a long-term project seeking to better understand the dynamics between entrepreneurs, supporters, or advocates, and the venture ecosystem. We believe these dynamics are under-researched, but also overlooked by practitioners, including founders, and those looking to develop venture ecosystems in the economic development arena. Alvarez, Barney, and others describe the process of founding a venture as less like discovering a mountain and a little bit more like building one. Nod to Richard Dreyfuss. We also know that entrepreneurs are not the risk-taking solo mavericks the press might have us believe, doing everything on their own, multitasking to get to market. Instead, founders must interact with and secure resources from a number of others to launch and grow their ventures. Building a mountain is not a solo endeavor. So from the most emergent phase, entrepreneurs must engage in a process of co-creation with other members of their market and ecosystem. But given the uncertainty and lack of assigned property rights and value of a startup, why do people help entrepreneurs through this journey? Who engages in these close encounters of the entrepreneurial kind, and why do they provide assistance? Our paper addresses this very important question. We identify the members of the venture community who could provide assistance as venture advocates and the activities they engage in to help the entrepreneur venture advocate behaviors. We then explore the advocate and venture characteristics that we would expect would affect their willingness to help a founder move forward. If you start with trying to understand why do people help entrepreneurs build this mountain, you have to take a step back and look at what types of assistance they're providing. Well, first is certainly the product itself. When the light bulb goes off, how do you build it? What does the market really want? That involves some venture advocacy on the part of advisors and others. Another element is certainly the human resource piece. Entrepreneurs must complete a wide variety of research, operational, and other types of tasks to go to market without any full-time staff and certainly no HR department. And of course, the Benjamins. Finally, entrepreneurs need capital to launch their ventures and move them forward in many cases. And learning about funding options, getting networked or references to those funding sources is an important part of the entrepreneurial journey. Social exchange theory helps us understand behavior in this type of context, where uncertainty is very high and help is not prescribed or obtained by contract. This is, of course, in contrast to typical economic exchanges where quid pro quo is specified and there often are contractual elements on both sides of the equation. In our paper, we take this general model, positing the relationship between the venture and the advocate or potential advocate, and propose that first, the individual values of an interest in exchange orientation or a higher exchange orientation, but also a belief in building social capital and a desire to do so will positively affect the willingness to engage in these behaviors. Second, we propose that from an expectancy theory standpoint, the self-efficacy of the advocate, their belief that they can positively affect outcomes will play a role, as well as their perceived likelihood of success of the venture or founder that they're working with. Third, our model includes some decision rules about how the advocate relates to the venture ecosystem. If the ecosystem overall places a higher value on reciprocal behaviors and rewards that, and the advocate identifies closely with that community, she's much more likely to offer assistance. Finally, we'd certainly be remiss if we didn't include the link to possible outcomes and suggest that a founder's ability to cultivate venture advocate behaviors positively affects the chances that not only he will be able to launch that venture, but grow and sustain it as well. In summary, our theory piece lays out a foundation that broadens the entrepreneurial process to include more than just the founding team. We call these helpers venture advocates and argue that they are an essential component of a robust venture ecosystem and a critical resource for founders. Leveraging social exchange theory, we explore why advocates help entrepreneurs. We hope these ideas spur further theoretical and empirical development among our research colleagues on these unsung heroes of the venture landscape. Please contact me at this email address if you're interested in collaborating in this area. As we build this mountain, there's certainly plenty to do, both on the theoretical side and the empirical body of evidence that we hope to build in the future supporting this theory. Thanks very much for watching.